Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder on this freezing day. Especially thanks for coming in, you brave souls who came out in this odd weather. Today was the first day I've had to scrape my car off all winter. I forgot about how to do that. I was just like, wait, I got to do this here in Colorado? But thank you so much for joining us and joining us online. I've got a few announcements of, also Happy New Year to everyone. Got a few announcements of stuff coming up here that's happening at Unity of Boulder. And all of these are great ways to start your new things to try. First up, we have a prosperity class taught by Zoilita Grant. Are you in here, Zoilita? I don't see her today. But she is a prosperity master here in Colorado. That's going to start on, did I not get the date? Yes, I did. Tuesday the 21st. And it's $50 for all 4 weeks. But here's the thing. She's going to teach it twice each day that she's teaching it. She's going to do it at 3 p.m. and at 6 p.m. So you can come to either or. Maybe 1 week 3 p.m. works best for you. Maybe the next week 6 p.m. She does the same lesson on those days at each time. So she's just trying to add a little bit of flexibility for that. So you can sign up for that in the bookstore or online, or you can just call us sometime. But a prosperity class is always a great way to start out a new year. We are all here at Unity of Boulder. We are always looking for volunteers in basically every section of this church. In the kitchen, in our bookstore, all over the building for any manner of things. And if you'd like to try becoming a volunteer here for anything, maybe it's something we haven't seen, something you've seen that you'd like to see be done here. Please, following this service, Heather's going to be having a small meeting with people who want to become volunteers right over here in the bookstore. So just hop on in over there. It'll be a short meeting. Just hop in, say hi, talk with Heather about what you might want to volunteer here at Unity of Boulder. But volunteering is really one of the things that keeps this center going and working smoothly. So, and it's a great way to make this feel a little bit of ownership in your Unity of Boulder. Next week, we are starting a new group that we haven't ever had before. We're calling it an Open Source Spirituality Group. This will be a group for our younger folk from 18 to 25 is who this group is for. It will be a fun group. It'll be an adventure group. You don't have to necessarily come to Unity of Boulder. So if you're interested in coming to this group, it doesn't cost anything. You just show up. It'll be next week from 12:30 to 1:30, and that'll be our first meeting to kind of see what everyone wants and then start doing activities after that. So that is our open source spirituality class. All right, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity today. So we're just going to come into the presence of this room and recognize this time for a call for prayer. This is an opportunity to write people's names down. There's pieces of paper in front of you that you can write names of people that need prayer right now, and it's okay to write your own name on there. You don't have to put the last name or what the issue is, because we know that the universe knows what you need before you even ask. It's really a demonstration on our part to lean into this higher consciousness that can lend a hand for others from one heart to another. So we like to sing this song, and they say to sing is to pray twice, so we invite you to join us. And we're going to start now. Here we go. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within. Guide your way home. So it is. And now we're going to invite our entertainment club up, and we're going to do a sing-along. We're going to ask you to stand up and join us. And while we're standing, let's say thank you, God, for this cold day. And turn and meet one another and get each other's names. Let's collect community and grow community today. Thank you, Gabrielle. And pat yourselves on the back and say, thank you, God, for me.
Now this morning, usually this is where we would have our special music, or a special musician or band, but today we're going to do it a little differently today, and we are going to welcome a local poet, Poet Val right here, to bless us with some beautiful poetry. Get it, Val.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having you. Thanks for being here. This is an A flute. This is a morning flute. This song is a morning song. This song is a you are here song. This is the soul purest moment so far of a new year. This is a you are here song. This is our beauty walk. This is our beauty walk. This song is being created by an allowing, not a pushing, not a pulling, by an allowing this moment to arrive perfect. A perfect beginning, a perfect morning of a new year, the sunrise song. This song paves our way. This song is our intention. This song is heaven and earth and within and within and within that resonates without, that resonates everywhere, that we get to call soul, that we get to call beautiful, that we get to call us, that we get to call welcome. Now, this is our invitation. Feel this invitation. Feel your hearts join and open and create this moment together. This moment will never be again. This is a first moment. This is our first stretch. This is our resonant beauty walk. This is our step. In A minor.
Poet Val, everyone. Beautiful way to start. And the band just picked up with her in the last few minutes and played with her. They're just amazing. I mean, our Unity band is just, we're so grateful for all the talent that is happening in this place. And I hope you all get to experience our Christmas Eve services and all the hard work and dedication everybody put into that evening to really celebrate the birth of Christ within all of us. And now we are starting a new year, right? And I hope you got to do the burning bowl last Sunday and burn away the things that no longer serve us so that we can step into a new birth of a new life. This year is a 9-year, which in numerology means it's the ending, it's the closing up of a cycle and the new and bringing in the new life. So it's closure, it's endings. It's one of the highest consciousness numbers in numerology, and it's a powerful year, and we've got a lot to look forward to. Last year was an 8, which was about prosperity and money. I don't know if anybody saw a shift in that particular area, but this one's going to be really a heightening of consciousness, and one that's been needed, obviously, for a long time. We've been waiting for that awakening, that dawning, that all the words we say, the new earth, the 5D consciousness to take place. This is that year, and it's going to happen. I'm going to claim that today for all of us. So today's talk title is Creating a Life of Your Own Design. Creating a life of your own design. This week, I really took that last Sunday off. I needed to take some downtime. All 3 of my children were in that production over Christmas Eve, and I oversaw and ran the whole thing, and I was exhausted after it. And it's different when your own children are in it because you're like dealing with them and their performing levels. And it's like one thing to be performing as yourself, but like to and watch your teenagers tend to disappear when it's time for them to get on the stage, and it's just stressful. It's just like, can you please just stay somewhere where I can find you? And when it was done and it all went well, it was like, oh, thank you, God, that's over. It was so much just to gather. It's like herding cats, you know what I mean? All their friends are all over this building, so there's so many things to distract them. So now I was like, creating a life of your own design. Conscious living is really the focus. And I really spent New Year's Eve writing out every single thing that I was committed to receiving this year. They say that we receive usually our backup plans, right? So a lot of times we put out there what we want to manifest in a new year, right? We'll say, you want a new career, or we want a lover to come into our life, or we want abundance financially, or we want healing in a relationship. But if that doesn't happen, there's like this backup. Like, I'll be happy though if I get this, right? And so we really hold a vibration of the backup plan versus really getting out of our comfort zone and living in this committed place to receive what we are desiring, because that desire comes from God. They say when you're feeling a desire that it's God's tapping on your soul to say there's so much more for you. But we tend to look lowly on oneself or come from a place of limitation and blocks and things that speak from our subconscious and old behaviors that talk us out of this commitment to bringing wonderful good into our life. So I'm just imploring that all of us step into that power, because today we're going to talk about that power that lives within each and every one of us. I was sitting with a friend this week on New Year's Day after I had done all of what I was committed to receiving and what I was committed to releasing and burning them in a fireplace. He came over and we sat and we chatted about the feeling of New Year's Day. And that particular day, unfortunately, I had looked at the news and there was just so many awful things that happened in our country in the middle of the night and then during the day, and it was just strange energy. And we were sitting there, feeling it and recognizing the empathic nature of both of our beings, because he's a very spiritual being, and how it was shaking this foundation that I was starting this day with, which was committed to receiving beauty, and yet the world is still filled with strife, right? And that contrast of working in this human world as a spiritual being, and how do we differentiate and stay within the power and the light within ourselves regardless of what's going on in the world. So we were sitting and talking about these things, discussing the pathway for which you make something come into fruition from nothing. How we leave the trials of the previous years and starting completely new this year in a place where you finally have the courage to do what you really want to do with your life, or to manifest a financial change or attract that special person. We were discussing all of this. I was talking to him about a few nuggets that my girlfriend left with me before she passed away from cancer around this time 3 years ago. And I always seem to think about it this time of year because this is when she left me, and she was my friend since I was 4 years old. I'd asked her before she was passing away if there was anything she wanted to share with me, anything she had discovered, maybe from a different vantage point of life, now that she knew she was going to be leaving this human experience. And my friend was sharing with me about what it was like to be at this point, and at that point she'd been struggling with cancer, so there was a sense of relief. Right? It was time. She was ready to go. She'd closed everything up, and there's a sense of relief, but the one thing she said, this is the only thing, and it's the one that everybody says. Don't put off what you really want to do with your life, Syntysche, to tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised. And that always sits in my thought process if I think about how much she worked and worked and worked to survive as a single mother in this world, and all the things that she sacrificed for that. And she didn't get those big trips, and she didn't really put herself on the map as a priority for her unfoldment in every way that she should have. She was so talented. She was a musician beyond. She was a black belt in 4 martial arts. She was beyond. She played every instrument on the planet. We had a band together in our 20s, and it was like all of that she learned in this lifetime and then left with it. And it was like, don't put it off. Like, that's it. I think that's what the New Year's about, right? So my friend that I was sharing this with, who also knew my girlfriend, and he was pondering her words, and he said, I don't know why, but for some reason, that just hit me in my heart like a lightning bolt. And he started crying. And we both just sat there weeping in the sentiment of such a powerful woman that we both knew, and how somebody can still care for us that are going to be amongst the living to say, go do you, please do you, because I didn't do it for myself, right? So we just started talking about all of the syndromes and the limitations that keep us from doing those things that we've always wanted to do. And we started to ponder the Marianne Williams prayer, and I want to go over it slowly so we can really ponder these words. And I used this a few weeks ago. I use it all the time because I love this prayer. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Something about that, it's easier to settle in to the limited part of ourselves than to step out of our comfort zone and recognize that our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Why is that? It should be so natural to live in this light. The universe shows us that we're light every day. We are shown beauty every day, sunrises, sunsets. We are sharing in this beauty all the time, but somehow we want to look down on ourselves and live for our backup plans than on what we're committed to give ourselves, because it's based in a love of thyself. And when we love ourselves, we love God. We're matching up with this high vibration. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. Let's take this one in. This is really important. Because did you know that when we meet new people and people ask us how we're doing or we're seeing something that we always see, we tend to share with the problem? We start down here because we don't want to make people uncomfortable. So we actually complain usually before saying, I'm doing amazing. I have just stepped into this spiritual work and I am shining and da-da-da, because we don't want to like make somebody feel like they're not in that shininess. So we shrink ourselves. We shrink ourselves to not make other people feel insecure around us. Is that crazy? And who gets it? We do it to be like polite. But we don't recognize that politeness is taking our good away from us. That politeness is not building the spiritual power and light that lives within us. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. It's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our divine presence automatically liberates others. You're being the change that you want to see in this world.
The only bird that
So I wanted to share that because we were kind of going through it and talking about it, going, I think that might be one of the greatest masterpieces that were ever written. And people tend to think Nelson Mandela wrote that. And it's constantly like confused over the internet. And it says that he did, but it was Marianne Williamson that wrote those powerful, powerful words. So if we look at the astrology of this year, I follow a lady that has a TikTok called Rewilding for Women on TikTok. And she kind of puts it together this way. The horoscope is titled Becoming More and More of the Creator. In 2025, this will be one of the biggest themes, and let this new moon kind of guide the way for feeling into intentions what you want to do around this. With this theme of I am the creator of my reality, I'm creating my relationships, my joy, my job, my home, life, I am creating that. Now here's the thing about this, being pushed to take more and more responsibility is coming from the Capricorn energy, which is really about order. It's about order. This is a new moon in Capricorn. We've also got big-time Saturn energy. Saturn is scoring Jupiter at the moment. Saturn and Capricorn are very similar energies. And it's about taking the responsibility for the power that you have. That's what this year is about. So this is not just going to happen today, and we're going to just walk out of here and we got it. It's a cycle of this whole year. Is you are the creator of your life. And all of the stars, everything is going to surround and support you in whatever way you're able to harness that kind of power. When you really get, you are the creator. We've always been the creators of our lives. But is this a year you're going to claim it? Right? Are you going to step in it every day? I'm the creator of my life. So Saturn and Capricorn are very similar energies, and it's about taking the responsibility for the power that you have, so just feel into that. Lots of different themes can come up around that, taking the responsibility, owning the power that you have, owning the power of your thoughts, owning the power of your belief systems, owning the power, and here's the big one. Knowing and thinking about how we manifest now. Because the way we manifest in 2025 is not the same that we did 5 years ago or even 2 years ago. How we manifest now is becoming the version of ourselves that would already have the things, the relationships, the prosperity, all of the things. We have to become that thing for us to attract it. So the homework is within us. We create our reality. So, we talk about affirmations, we talk about visualizations, but we become the vibrational energy of the one that already has all of those dreams attained. It's easier said than done. But that's that whole idea of going from 3D consciousness to 5D consciousness. It's about holding ourselves, meditating, doing the things we have to do to connect, right? So manifestation isn't about receiving what you ask for. It's about receiving what aligns with who you are. Focus on change. Navigate the trials with gratitude. And I wanted to show this video.
The only bird that dares to peck an eagle is the crow. The crow sits on the eagle's back and bites its neck. The eagle does not attempt to shake it off or fight it. It doesn't spend its time or energy on the small nuisance. Instead, it just opens its wings and begins to rise higher into the sky. The higher the flight, the harder it is for the crow to breathe and hold on until it eventually falls off due to a lack of oxygen. Learn from the eagle and don't spend your time fighting crows. Just keep ascending. They may be along for the ride in the beginning, but they'll soon fall off. Do not allow yourself to succumb to these petty distractions. Keep your focus on the things above and keep rising.
So it's a powerful image of what the human condition can do when we are owning the fact that we create our world, right? And as we tell others that we're creating our world, people that aren't willing to step into this vulnerable place and trusting in this universe, trusting in faith that something greater is about to take a hold of us and guide us into this wonderful life that we know now we deserve, and we're not going to depend on our backup plans, but we're going to manifest our first plans and what God's tapping on the door to tell us we're capable of doing. And that crow is an example of what the human condition tends to do to us when we're feeling very empowered, feeling very in love with our passions, when we're feeling really limitless and ready to join it. So we have to remember, just keep flying higher energetically, getting into that higher 5D state of consciousness, into that awakened state of consciousness, so that you may be that vibration that's going to attract and create those dreams as you. So this last week, the day after New Year's, I was at a house that Mike and I have been fixing up to sell. It was an estate that two parishioners of ours had passed away and left a third of it to Unity, a third to the cancer research, and a third to Alzheimer's. Unfortunately, we were the ones that were left to do the entire project, and then they'll just collect their money because they have all the money in the world, and here we are barely getting by, and we have to do all the work, and they're going to get all this money. Anyway, it's been stressful, and they had no kids. And guess who kids got to handle it? Mike and I, the ministers of their church. Do I sound annoyed? Yeah, I'm a little annoyed. It's been so much work during Christmas fixing up a total house that was completely run down, and we're taking care of it. We went there the day after New Year's to finish up some last projects before we list it. And I was sweeping the front doorway and trying to get it looking nice out there because there's a lot of trees and it dumps leaves all over this property. And while I was sweeping, I was right by this window. This huge woodpecker goes flying into this brand new cleaned window and dies right in front of me. And I'm very connected to birds. I have 4 big, huge bird feeders outside my house that I watch all day long, and I water them and I feed them, and I'm very, very in tune. So I screamed and just started crying. Mike's up putting numbers on the house, and he comes off the ladder and just holds me because it's the day after New Year's, and this just happened in front of me in a house that we've served and given all this energy, and I was like, what is this message? Because I look at everything. Everything's a symbol. Everything's something, you know? And while he's holding me, I said, can you just go and look closer and just make sure it's gone so it's not suffering? Obviously I need to make sure it's okay, it's past. And he goes over and he goes, the eyes are blinking on it. Oh my God. And it's laying there so contorted in a strange way, And so I feel all those feelings like you don't want to go near something that's injured, that you could get bit or something like that, but it's like I am feeling guided to push through my own physicalness and follow my soul and go towards this creature. And I went and I go and I sit with it, and I'm kind of pushing its feathers to see if it will get back on its feet. And eventually I did a little bit of maneuvering, and it did get back on its feet. But it's so in shock, it's like you can just see that it's like it's hanging on. And so I just start petting it and praying with it and sending light to it and singing to it. until I can feel it's leaning into my hands. It's feeling me. It's feeling the love that I feel for it. And eventually I'm guided to hold it and just send light to this animal and just be like, please, I really want the closure of us leaving this property that we probably won't be back at, like, to have this bird be okay. And then I'd leave and I'd work for 10 minutes and I'd come back and I'd hold it again, and it just seemed like it was still in the shock. And finally we were done and we needed to leave, and it was still standing there, and it was like, ugh. And I said, you've got to fly or I'm going to have to take you somewhere. And right when I said fly, it just flew up onto the tree and was balanced, and he was fine. Oh my God, it was such joy. Such a sense of resurrection, like death and resurrection, like a feeling of all of those emotions, And I have a picture of myself. Can you put the picture up? I've got him in my hands. I look like I'm in grief because at this point I'm not. Look at that sweetie pie. So look at that beauty. So anyway, I know I didn't save that bird, but I was reminded of the vibration that we carry in this world. That we're so much more than we realize. And when we can push past like the comfort zone of what the human being wants to do versus going to make sure somebody's okay or an animal's okay, you know what I mean? Like when you see somebody that's struggling, to step out of our comfort zone and be nosy enough to say, I care even though I don't know you. Right? Being that conduit of that love for the universe, being that extension of God, spirit source, whatever you want to call it, and be that avenue of that light. When you are giving from that vessel that is so full, you can be nothing but blessed in this world. You are a tide within this giving and this receiving. This universe understands that. That's the language of abundance. That's the language of connection, right? So then afterwards, and it's funny because you and I were talking about woodpeckers 2 weeks ago, remember? It's strange because I never had woodpeckers on my my area, and then we had like 5 when he came over, and I'm like, they must be for you. Because I haven't had any woodpeckers, and then this happened, I was like, well, maybe it's for me, because you could get my attention now that you just smashed into this window in front of me. I look up woodpecker and what it symbolizes, and this is what it symbolizes. Communication and opportunity. A woodpecker's appearance can be assigned to be clever about communicating needs to reach an advantage. It represents determination. In Europe folklore, woodpeckers symbolize determination and the importance of staying steadfast in times of difficulty. They also represent wisdom and spiritual enlightenment. Wisdom and spiritual enlightenment. In many cultures, woodpeckers are said to bring a message of wisdom and spiritual enlightenment. I guess I heard finally, right? There's like 4 or 5 at my house like 2 weeks ago, and then this one had to do it this way. Sometimes we're just knuckleheads like that. We just can't get that symbol and that sign to speak to us. You know what I mean? And I do always look to every sign and symbol. My life is always, what was that for? What was the meaning in that? Right? And I did it the second this one crashed, and for me, it reminded me, I'm a healer. I'm divine love. Nothing separates me from this God energy, and yet here this terrible thing happened in front of me, but I was guided to be of the Christ, of the Buddha nature, to try to step out of my comfort zone and hold with love this life, right? In Conscious Living by Gay Hendricks, he writes, "The journey of conscious living is a path of constant choosing. When you choose to step out of role and routine, when you find the courage to improvise and innovate so that you and others around you feel more vital and connected, this is conscious living. Conscious living is an improvisational journey of benign, eternal vigilance. Since we all have to be on the lookout for unconscious programming from our upbringing, our tribe, our genetic history. This is the crow with the eagle, right? This is where the I don't know mind comes in, or some call it no mind, or some call it beginner's mind. It's really hard to forge a new path and keep leaning on our old understanding. The old understanding will confuse us every time, and we'll keep repeating the same experiences over and over again in different ways in the present moment and in our future. To have no mind, or beginner's mind, is to allow that we don't know everything. Because at my age, we can get really caught up in knowing everything. I've had this happen. I've lost this in my life. I know in my relationships like this, I just do the same things, but I keep getting the same results, and they're not the ones I want. So what if I'm willing to become like a child again? Looking around at life in this mystery, in this cleverness, in this creativity, in this curiosity, in this willingness to step into the unknown and forge from a new view, from a new place, even a place you might be even asking Spirit, guide me to know what that new is. What is that vibration? What is that energy? So I don't repeat the same mistakes, so I can have a new year, a brand new year filled with blessings, filled with joy, filled with community, filled with love, filled with passion, filled with excitement, filled with surprises, filled with miracles, right? That's what we all want. And who says we can't? But if we're going to step in the way that we've always stepped in, we're just going to repeat and have the same year as we did this last year and the year before that. Prosperity by Charles Fillmore, he's the co-founder of Unity Movement, writes it this way. Jesus stressed the idea that God has made abundant provision for all his children, even to the birds of the air and the lilies of the field. The Lord has clothed you with soul substance as gloriously as he did Solomon. And when we look up metaphysically what Solomon means, it says, as students who look especially for information about the individual person, we discern in Solomon a development of the presiding genius at the heart center. So it has to come from here. So much intellectually trying to draw the law of attraction or try to become a part of this energy. This is the brain that works. Then join this. It goes from here to here, not here to here. This one tells the truth, this one knows how. But you must have faith in this all-providing substance of good, and by your continuity, providing substance of good, and by your continuity of imagination, set it to forming the things you desire. If you're persistent in working this idea in your conscious mind, it will eventually drop down into your subconscious mind and continue to work there where things take form and become manifest. So it's really needed for us to reprogram the subconscious mind, because that's the one that is the giver without us thinking about it. That is the one that's actually driving our lives without us even having our attention on it. Right? So the more we can come from a heart place and feel into what is needed, what is wanted, what is necessary, and then living from that, then it starts to settle, and it replaces the limited thought process, it replaces the brokenness, it replaces the stories, it replaces the traumas, it replaces the PTSD, it replaces it. And without your even knowing, then you're walking, and you're just a walking law of attraction bomb of light. All just coming your way, just flooding you, just blessing you, just loving you, right? So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to take it on from there next week, and I'm going to just take you into a quick meditation where we can just get into the presence. And remember this: we are the creator of our lives. So let's just get our feet flat on the floor and close our eyes. And just take a deep breath in, out with a And a deep breath in. Just getting steady in our breath. And just reviewing what stood out to you today during the beautiful poetry, the music, the words shared up here. Take what blesses you and leave what doesn't inspire you. Because you are the creator of your world. Mind, body, spirit. You are the ones that are going to create the opportunity for your dreams to come true. If you're willing to believe and know that you're worthy. Remember, there will always be the crow nipping at your feathers as you fly higher and higher in consciousness and in spirit. Give no attention to that. This is your journey. It's between you and Source. You and God. You can't even bring your partners along for this. This is your journey. But your partners, your children, your employers, your employees, they will all be blessed by your union with this power that is you, as you in expression. Let these words be the fuel unto your heart to visit the message that lives there. Knowing all the answers to your life are illuminated. They will be reciprocated as you keep stepping in and deciding, I am worthy, I am ready, I'm in allowance, I have faith, I believe there's a greater power that's within me and in this universe, and I am tapping into that. And I'm filled with love, Spirit, and I'm filled with light, Spirit. And I'm filled with gratitude to remember this power that I am, so that I may go forth and do your great work as you said we would, in expression. And so we say thank you, thank you, thank you, God. We are so grateful for everything. Amen. We'll take an offering for unity now.
Well, once again, we have freely received these ideals that we can put into practice in our lives and watch how they bring about a greater, more beautiful experience. So now, everyone that's watching this live stream, I'm inviting you to become more of a part of Unity. If you haven't been giving regularly, why don't you take up something? It doesn't have to be a lot of money, but if you give on a regular basis, you feel a part of this intelligence and love that we share at Unity. So I'm asking you to do that, and on occasion, show up to the physical church, put in an appearance. You'll feel really good about it. You'll take a lot more away with you than you brought. Right now, we can bring into our hands the gifts we'd like to make to Unity of Boulder and bless them with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. Amen. And we have, for our guest appearance, do we have the poet again? Yes, we do. All right. Well, we are really doubly blessed. Let's have a hand for this incredible poet.
Hi, Cassie. I'll let you know when I want the words up. This is perfect. Thank you so much. Synchronicity. You know you're in the right place when. I brought a poem about birds. So thank you for the for that talk. So this is a painting by Becky Hawley. And the title is something like, "On Tuesday, flamingo and butterflies take the narwhal for a walk." And it's just shortened to Tuesday. And I want to talk about this. This painting for a moment. You can't really see this. Maybe by the flamingo's legs, you kind of see the image of a lamp in the background. But the whole background, the whole thing was painted over words and catalogs and ledgers. So there's this whole background. And this, the flamingo, if you don't believe in miracles, look at this flamingo. How can creation have even brought us this? So the flamingo saves energy by resting on one leg. Their feathers turn the color of whatever they eat. So most flamingos are pink because they eat brine shrimp. And in order to eat, they put their head underwater upside down and filter the bottom up through that crazy bill and filter it. And that's the only way they can take in nutrients. A flock of flamingos is a flamboyance. Is that cool or what? A flamboyance. And this flamingo and the butterflies are taking the narwhal whale out for a walk. And that tusk on the narwhal is their left tooth that grows their whole life. And the nickname of the narwhal is unicorn of the sea. Pretty cool, huh? Carrying a unicorn of the sea. There are always the hidden words that underlie every feathered wing of reality. Subjective little tricksters, trying to border us into a normal, colorless world. Scripting the fantastical into the nights of dreams and childhood. Begin here. Carry a narwhal away from extinction into the loving arms of safe, of forever. Each of us together writing new poems that surpass the old lamps of ledgers and news. Begin with the impossible pink, a flamboyance of colored wings above familiar horizons. Begin with a long-toothed unicorn of the sea under your arm. Metabolize pigments that turn your own feathers sunrise pink. Gaze at this upside-down world as you stand on one leg, standing in the strange and beautiful at the edge of everything. Lifted on butterfly wings, step off and fly. Standing in the strange and beautiful at the edge of everything. Lifted on butterfly wings, step off and fly. Thank you.
Thank you. That's beautiful. All right, well, we've got a prosperity class that's coming up in 2 weeks from a mentor of mine's, Lolita Grant. I can't teach classes right now because I'm in the midst of a lot of schooling at the moment. So I'm bringing the best teachers I can bring for you to be taking classes here at Unity. Usually I teach them, but right now I have to do enough self-care that I can handle all of it. So please sign up for these classes because you're getting the greatest teachers that ever existed. So you can sign up for that prosperity class, which is 4 weeks long, and it's going to be on Tuesdays. And then we have the open source young adult spiritual group for 18 to 25-year-olds, which is going to be a group that's not necessarily on the Unity philosophy, but more just on spirituality. It's a coming together of young people to be able to discuss life after death, quantum physics, esoteric, like doing, fun cards where they look at how spirit talks to them, talking about the signs and symbols of spirit. There is a mentor that's older that will keep an eye on it, but most importantly, they'll be training the mentors that are the young people to lead their own group, so they kind of become, in a sense, their own shamans, their own teachers as they discover the spiritual path. So that will be taking place the second and fourth Sunday of every month in the conference room in the bookstore from 12:30 to 1:30, and they'll also get a lunch and they'll go skiing and they'll do fun stuff together as well. And then I will have my discussion group right after this service in the same room as the conference room. So if you have something in your heart and you'd like to share it with me, or you just want to share about the service and just chat with other people and build community, join me in the bookstore in the conference room. And then we have refreshments and coffee and everything else in the fellowship hall after the service. So let's all stand. Do you have anything you'd like to share?
No, what about our
Let's
prayer
circle.
partners?
Oh, we have prayer partners available to you. They're standing up with these white cloaks. If you have a challenge, they will come and find you. Just stay seated in your seat after the service is closed, and they'll take you to our beautiful meditation room and pray with you. Let's circle up around these pews, and let's hold hands and sing Let There Be Peace on Earth. Spiritual center that dances together stays together. I release